Who are the influencers who are dumber than a box of rocks? Let's get right to it and start with number 6, chested and arrested. Buxom influencer Karina Leno Gomez committed multiple robberies with the help of her winner boyfriend Edmilson Souza de Silva. With a sizable following on TikTok and Instagram, Gomez frequently posted pictures and videos keeping her followers abreast of any big updates in her personal life. With the help of other members of their crew, the duo targeted people who were on their way to withdraw or deposit money at ATMs. Gomez distracted the victims with her big personality before other crew members robbed them. The recent spike in robberies caught the attention of local law enforcement, who started watching the couple a few weeks before the arrest. Employees at one of the banks had noticed a suspicious car outside their business and contacted the police. What they meant by suspicious isn't entirely clear. When officers arrived, Gomez and Silva attempted to flee the scene with a firearm in their possession. Authorities apprehended the pair a few feet from the branch and confiscated the weapon. The pair admitted to the robberies and named an additional 4 accomplices. Gomez and Silva stayed in police custody until the end of the criminal investigation. Instagram suspended the influencer's account, leaving her in literal and social media jail. And now, with Gomez's account suspended and her being in jail, where on earth are we going to get updates on current events? We were just following her for information, honestly. Number 5, LA dreaming, Alabama trafficking. Raquel Dolores Antiola and Melissa Dufour allegedly trafficked over $3 million in illicit powder through Alabama. Musician and rapper Antiola, whose special rapper name is Raki, has hundreds of thousands of Instagram followers. Her friend, Dufour, was an emerging makeup artist and fitness influencer who posted under the name Mela McBarbie. So you can see how their careers were obviously taking off. Officers pulled the massively talented duo over while they were driving a Ford Expedition on Interstate 10 in Mobile County, Alabama. During the stop, the pair raised suspicion when they gave conflicting stories about their travel plans. So the sheriff's office deployed members of their K9 team, who found roughly 217 pounds of, let's just call it, nose beers worth over $3 million in the vehicle's floorboard. Hopefully it wasn't actually all stepped on, but anyways, officers noticed that somebody had lowered and welded the SUV's floor back together to provide storage space. There was also a second compartment in the back of the vehicle with hollowed out side panels. The influencers entered police custody, and the Department of Homeland Security attempted to charge the women at a federal level. Days before their arrests, the women posted pictures on their Instagram pages that seem ironic in hindsight. Antiola shared a pic of herself in a black corset, reminding her followers that it felt good to be around a woman who's in her bag and not her feelings. We're not totally sure what that means, since a corset and a bag are two totally different things, but Raki probably thought she was deep. Dufour posted a pic commenting on how people didn't know who she was becoming, which turned out to be a convict. First-time offenders for trafficking over 5 kilograms are subject to federal sentences of 10 years and up and a fine of $10 million. Looks like they got stuck in traffic. Number 4, the idiotic pranking twins. Alan and Alex Stokes, twin YouTubers, pretended to be bank robbers during a series of pranks that ended with the police approaching an Uber driver with their weapons drawn. The brothers were videoed hailing an Uber while dressed in all black, wearing ski masks and carrying duffel bags full of cash. When the twins got into the vehicle, they claimed that their getaway driver had abandoned them. The Uber driver, who didn't know it was a prank, refused the ride. A bystander believed that the twins were attempting to carjack the vehicle and called 911. The police arrived and ordered the Uber driver out of the vehicle with their weapons drawn. When they realized that the driver had no idea about the twins' prank, they let him go and warned the brothers. 4 hours later, Alan and Alex went after bystanders on the University of California campus again with the same prank. The police received multiple emergency calls about a bank robbery and headed to the scene. The twins shared the video footage of their pranks on their YouTube channels titled Bank Robber Prank Gone Wrong. The video clip showed the brothers running to the Uber and the driver asking them to get out of the car. Part of the video included one of the brothers telling a police officer that he'd called the non-emergency phone number ahead of time to let the authorities know about their prank, but the cop told him their pranks were still too disruptive and could have endangered others. At the end of the video, Alan and Alex talked about how people had been calling the police on them all day. It's just so funny to have that happen, you know? Police eventually arrested the twins, who each faced a felony count of false imprisonment and one misdemeanor count of falsely reporting an emergency. They entered guilty pleas, and in exchange, the judge reduced their charges to misdemeanor counts of false imprisonment and reporting false emergencies. The judge then sentenced them both to 160 hours of community service and 1 year of formal probation, as well as ordering them to pay restitution. Thankfully, their legal troubles didn't affect the twins' popularity. Following their arrests, their YouTube subscriber count grew from 4.81 million subscribers to 6.68 million. We were really worried that there might be actual consequences for doing stupid things, you know? Number 3, a crashing brain? Former Olympic snowboarder Trevor Jacob purposely crashed a plane to boost his social media views. The thrill seeker represented the U.S. in snowboarding in the 2014 Winter Olympics in Sochi, Russia. He participated in surfing, skateboarding, BMX riding, motocross, and mixed martial art competitions. In November 2021, Jacob posted a 13-minute-long video of himself on YouTube where he parachuted out of a small plane that he claimed had malfunctioned. Officials launched an investigation into the video and determined that Jacob had violated federal aviation regulations. Apparently, the stuffy old FAA felt like recklessly operating a single-engine aircraft in a way that could have endangered the life or property of another, or whatever. So, Jacob lost his private pilot's license in what was obviously a huge overreaction. The FAA ordered Jacob to surrender his certificate and threatened further legal action if he refused to do so, which would include a daily penalty of $1,644. But the organization couldn't prosecute him for the incident, as its only authority was to revoke or suspend certificates and issue fines, which seems a little weird. However, the U.S. Department of Transportation's Office of Inspector General does have the ability to prosecute Jacob if its investigations determine he committed a criminal offense. Jacob denied the allegations that the crash was intentional. Instead, he claimed that he'd planned to fly to Mammoth Lakes to spread the ashes of his late friend Johnny Strange, who passed away in a base jumping incident in 2015. Jacob claimed that the engine failed mid-flight, forcing him to exit and let the plane crash since there was nowhere safe to land. Jacob captured the entire incident on camera. At first, the flight appeared to be going smoothly, with Jacob giving a thumbs up and smiling into one of the several cameras aboard the plane. But 20 minutes into the flight, the aircraft's sole engine appeared to lose power and stall, causing the propeller to stop rotating. Jacob appeared to panic, releasing a string of words bound to get his video demonetized as he struggled to open the door. Jacob then unsuspiciously crawled out of the aircraft with a selfie stick in hand, the first thing you'd grab in a life-threatening situation, and launched his parachute moments before the plane crashed into the hills of Los Padres National Forest in California. Since Jacob had mounted so many cameras to the plane's interior, they had tons of different angles of the crash. Jacob landed in some brush with some minor cuts and bruises. He appeared frustrated over the ordeal, but said that he was glad to be alive and that the accident was the reason he always flies with a parachute. For the rest of the video, Jacob hiked to the crash site to view the wreckage and then wandered in the wilderness as it got dark until he found a farmer who he asked for help. It took a few days after the crash before Jacob went to the airport and told them what had happened. Employees told him they would have to report the crash to the FAA, prompting Jacob to charter a helicopter and remove the wreckage himself. Jacob's edited 13-minute-long video of the event received over 1.7 million views. Many correctly speculated that he staged the crash to go viral and get more clicks. Despite initially denying the allegations that the crash was intentional, the federal investigation thought otherwise. They must get upset about people intentionally crashing airplanes into things. Wonder why? Authorities arrested the thrill seeker, and he admitted to obstructing a federal investigation by destroying the plane's wreckage. In his plea agreement, Jacob confessed to orchestrating the crash as part of a sponsorship deal. The purpose of the video was to promote a wallet company's product, and Jacob had actually never planned on landing the plane that day. Jacob also admitted that he lied to an FAA aviation safety inspector when he said the airplane's engine stopped working, which was the reason he gave for abandoning it. If found guilty, Jacob faced 20 years in jail, a possible 20-year sentence over one little tiny intentional plane crash done for views? Total overreaction, you boomers. Number 2, stop the baiting. Katie Sorensen, an aspiring influencer and mother of 3, posted videos on Instagram where she claimed a Latino couple had attempted to kidnap her kids. Are we sure her name isn't Karen Sorensen? Sorensen posted 2 videos to her account at Motherhood Essentials where she alleged that a couple attempted to abduct her young son and daughter from a Michaels store, which is such a mom place to shop, isn't it? Of course she was at Michaels. After driving to the police station to report the couple and press charges, Sorensen immediately uploaded the videos, which earned her over 80,000 followers. The police released CCTV footage of the alleged kidnappers at the store. Sadie and Eddie Martinez, the accused couple, came forward to local police who quickly cleared them of any wrongdoing. The claims Sorensen made were so flimsy that law enforcement actually launched a different investigation into whether Sorensen had falsely reported the crime or if her actions on social media constituted a hate crime. Sorensen claimed in her social media post that she just wanted to raise awareness over what happened and to encourage other parents to be aware of their surroundings surroundings at all times. Like some irresponsible parent who's also a huge Motherhood Essentials fan learned a valuable lesson about watching their kids from Katie Sorensen. Sorensen claimed that sharing the story was really difficult and that she didn't feel ready, but it had to be done. She was just so traumatized by the fake kidnappers. According to Sorensen, she'd parked her car far away from the store entrance so she didn't annoy other customers taking her double stroller in and out of her vehicle. While she was in the parking lot, she said she spotted a man looking at her. She also noticed that when she was in the store, that same man, and now a woman, were following her and the kids. And they were acting suspicious, like they're peeking around corners of the aisles in the ghost town that's Michael's, where only moms shop. The suspiciously acting couple seemed to be making comments about her children's appearances and stood behind her in the checkout but didn't buy anything. Like that wouldn't be noticeable. Sorensen then said that they followed her outside to her car and lingered by the stroller while she put her kids in their seats. There was a white van parked alongside her car, which she thought was concerning since she purposefully parked far from the store. There's nothing suspicious about white vans, by the way. You know how much candy those things usually have? After Sorensen's video went viral, BuzzFeed interviewed her after she got a massive amount of blowback. She said that there were people who were sending her negative comments and that they needed to have more sympathy for her made-up traumatic experience. However, the police found no evidence to back up Sorensen's experience and arrested her for fabricating the entire incident. The Sonoma County District Attorney's Office charged her with 3 misdemeanor counts of making false reports to a police dispatcher, a police officer, and a detective. Sorensen entered police custody with her bail set at $100,000 while awaiting sentencing. Sorensen faces up to 6 months in jail. When they were taking her away, she was probably demanding to speak to everyone's manager. She looks like the type, doesn't she? If you're enjoying this video, be sure to stay tuned for our past release for some of the weirdest ways influencers make money. Number 1. Turkish Delights. Simge Barankoglu and Yesem Aydin defrauded hundreds of followers with a tax scam. Barankoglu, who had almost 1 million Instagram followers, and Aydin, who had 161,000, participated in an operation that scammed social media influencers. The scam had members of a crime ring telling victims that they had won a cash prize on a social media game, but that they could only receive it after they paid a certain amount in taxes. Law enforcement caught wind of the operation and executed raids, during which they seized computers, cell phones, SD cards, USB memory sticks, and a bunch of other scammy-looking equipment. Police then arrested 20 suspects, including Barankoglu and Aydin, who were accused of defrauding 250 people all across Turkey for roughly $287,000. Barankoglu released a statement explaining that she made a living through brand and endorsement deals on social media, so she says she just thought she was posting an ad on her page, totally unaware that it was a scam. Barankoglu also added that she didn't know the people running the scam and couldn't accept the allegations made against her. Aydin also commented that the scammers contacted her and just said they wanted to work together. She accepted the job without realizing it was to commit fraud. Aydin added that the scammers gave her fake names and that she never intended to defraud anyone. She didn't contact any of the victims or ask them for money. All she made was the advertising fee. It's not like the two women should have had to take their time to find out who they're working with, right? Who has time for such things? 2 months after their arrests, both women were released on bail.
What's worse to make money? Convincing your followers to lose weight dangerously? Or would it be selling, certain smells in a jar to your fans? Number 3. Calorie deficient. Teddy Mellencamp, the daughter of singer John Cougar Mellencamp, was a star on the reality series Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. After she gave birth to her second child, Teddy gained almost 80 pounds and had a tough time losing weight. Mellencamp started a blog called LA Workout Junkie, and she wrote about fitness classes she was involved in. She also posted before and after pictures on her Instagram. Over time, this turned into her All In by Teddy program. Teddy claimed that the program was set up to hold people accountable for their goals. All In was promoted on other Bravo Network shows and the official Bravo website. All In by Teddy was expensive. The first 15 days of the program, which was called Jumpstart, cost $599. For those 2 weeks, All In claimed that the participants detoxified and reset their bodies. Next was the monthly program, which cost $439. After that was the weight and workout stage for $165 a month. Finally, there was the maintenance plan that cost $135 a month. All In claimed that diet plans varied by the client, but it seemed to be the same meal plan for every person who signed up. A participant was allowed no more than 700 calories and had to do an hour of cardio every day. People following All In also had to constantly send photos of their scales and what they were eating to Teddy and her staff. They were removed from the program if somebody didn't send those photos or gained weight, quickly going from All In to All Out. What's crazier still is once somebody was kicked out, they weren't refunded any of the money. In rare cases, if a person experienced an emergency with a verified doctor's note, they could get a refund, but they still had to pay a $75 administration fee. A woman named Stephanie Langlet said that All In affected her body image, mental health, and physical health. She came forward with text messages showing how Teddy had bullied her again and again. Stephanie was inspired after seeing a friend who lost a lot of weight from the All In program. She signed up in 2017 and thought the diet would have been set up based on her health and goals. Instead, she was disappointed that it ended up being a one-size-fits-all program. Stephanie explained how she had to send a photo of her weight on a scale each morning. If her weight was up, even by a few ounces, the staff would belittle her and force her to cut out a meal. She finally quit after forcing herself to vomit because she was afraid of being caught eating a piece of chicken. Initially, Stephanie had deleted the messages and photos because she wanted to forget about the terrible experience, but she later stumbled across them in her iCloud account. Stephanie then sent the screenshots of her text to a celebrity gossip Instagram, and the story blew up. Other people started talking about All In's uncertified diet coaches and how the program had caused eating disorders. Shortly after, Teddy announced that Bravo had renewed her contract for Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, a major platform she used to advertise All In. Stephanie's screenshots show that All In was more bullying than wellness coaching. The first message shows Teddy's assistant explaining the program and how Stephanie wouldn't be able to drink alcohol or break the meal plan. The assistant continued to say that while it would be difficult, she would hold her hand and help her through it. Another screenshot shows a text from Mellencamp at 6:41 a.m., simply saying, "Wait." Stephanie responded with a photo of her scale, and Mellencamp replied by saying Stephanie dropped her responsibilities for a man. Teddy then showed up by asking if Stephanie wanted to remain in the program, and if she did, she would need to Venmo $150. In another message, Teddy replied to a photo of Stephanie's soup dinner, asking what the ingredients were. It appears to have gotten worse with time. One day when Stephanie told Teddy she would be going to a wedding, Teddy simply replied to pack your scale, and there was no excuse because Stephanie was a fighter and not a victim. On the day Stephanie forced herself to throw up, she had only eaten a 15-calorie salad, and she started to get nervous she would be bullied after eating the piece of chicken with some green beans. She texted Teddy to explain how she felt, and Mellencamp replied only to object to Stephanie's use of the word chastised. It's probably not shocking to find out that in addition to the toxic behavior, All In's restrictive diet wasn't safe. Lisa Moskovitz, a registered dietitian, said that anyone over 2 years old needs at least 1,200 calories per day. Lisa said that she thought it would have been better if someone came to All In with a plan they received from a medical professional. In that case, Teddy could have helped them stick to the diet, but she shouldn't be creating diet plans for people. Dr. Jesse Hoffman, who specializes in eating disorders, remarked that a diet lower than 1,000 calories with only broth for dinner, requiring someone to send updates after every meal, is a major red flag. Lisa also stressed that a diet like All In promoted could cause severe problems, including nutrient deficiency, low energy, mood disorders, bone loss, and gallstones. Moskovitz believed there should be licensed medical professionals who screen clients for eating disorders before allowing them to join. Other people talked about their terrible memories with All In too. One woman said after joining All In, she had difficulty getting anything done and went to bed at 7:30 p.m. because she had no energy left. Another woman said she had no idea how little food she would be able to eat and wasn't informed about it before she paid to start the program. She still lost 6 to 7 pounds over 8 or 9 days, but when she told her coach she had diarrhea, she still had to show proof of her workout and pictures of her food. Dana Thorogood, who did the program for a month, said she experienced some serious side effects, including dizzy spells, headaches, extreme weakness, and daily diarrhea for a recommended detox tea. Surprisingly, some all-in clients praise the program, which is still ongoing today. The prices have even gotten more expensive, with the monthly fee increasing to $439 and the maintenance program rising to $135. The official website FAQ says that the coaches still don't carry any fitness, medical, or health certifications. They say that lived experience makes all the difference. And if you're looking for a coach with a medical certification, because clearly that's not important, the program isn't for you. Number 2. Jarring treat. Stephanie Matto is a YouTube video creator, social media influencer, and reality TV star. Matto first became popular on YouTube and TikTok for making lip-sync videos. She also has an OnlyFans account as well as Unfiltered, her own adult subscription site. Stephanie moved to Los Angeles in her 20s to pursue a career as an actress. Still, she ended up working as an adult dancer and going by the stage name Kitty. Stephanie then went on to write a book called Mean Boys and Memories, a compilation of my most outrageous, hideous, and embarrassing stories. The self-published book, free on Kindle Unlimited, is a compilation of short stories from her life, and she also talks about her time working as a dancer. She is currently engaged to her fiancé, Nick Stonestreet, who is another famous social media personality. She was previously in a relationship with Erica Owens, who she met on the reality TV series 90 Day Fiancé before the 90 days. Stephanie has made quite a bit of money over time, and as of 2021, she is worth an estimated $3 to $4 million. She lives in New York City and bought a house she's shown online. Matto is a big fan of cars and owns a white Porsche. She enjoys traveling, has 2 dogs, and likes to cosplay in her spare time. Matto has aplastic anemia, which means her bone marrow doesn't make enough red and white blood cells. Stephanie has said that something as simple as a common cold could be deadly. Stephanie was a star on the TLC series 90 Day Fiancé, which is a show about couples who applied for a K-1 visa, which is a type of visa for foreigners marrying U.S. citizens. After receiving the visa, they have 90 days to get married. On the show, Stephanie had problems getting intimate with her then partner, Erica, which led people to say she was faking her sexual orientation for fame. Matto revealed on the show that she enjoys watching baking videos while taking care of herself. Before the show ended, Stephanie and Erica broke up. At one point, Stephanie decided to auction off a 1-hour virtual candlelight date with her. The auction turned into a bidding war between 2 fans. The winning bid was for $2,700 and was placed by Stephanie Davidson, another star on 90 Day Fiancé. Matto said she had never met Davidson, but got a message on Instagram from her explaining that she was the winning bidder for the date. Matto said Davidson wanted 1 hour of her time to discuss marketing ideas together. After 90 Day Fiancé, Stephanie decided to start a new business, selling her boob sweat. Matto explained that over the years, she received messages from men and women who wanted to buy bras, underwear, her hair, and used bath water. So she thought boob sweat would be profitable as well. Stephanie, who considered herself a human maple tree and her boob sweat the sap, would sit near her pool with a small container pressed against her chest. Matto would then bottle her sweat and sell it for $500. She explained that several scientific factors, including the temperature and how much water she drank, affected how long it took to fill a jar with sweat. Eventually, production had to be shut down when a bear wandered into her backyard and sent Stephanie running into the house. Unable to sit outside and sweat, she's now looking into investing in a sauna so she can continue to collect her breast sweat. As if selling boob sweat wasn't strange enough, this story gets weirder. Stephanie explained that she decided to sell her own smells bottled in jars as a publicity stunt, but she quickly realized it was a lucrative business. She posted a video explaining the process with millions of views. Matto said she constantly received orders for her bottled flatulence, and people even asked for videos of her doing the deed. Unfortunately for those customers, she didn't provide that service. Stephanie wasn't ashamed to discuss the production details either. She says she put several rose petals in each jar, claiming that the flowers help to absorb the scent and make it last longer. The natural gas manufacturer believed she tapped into a massive market with endless potential. Stephanie wasn't afraid to toot her own horn regarding sales numbers either. She sold each jar for $1,000, and she considered that to be a heavily discounted price. Matto also thoughtfully included a personalized message to each buyer. In one video, she explained that she made almost $50,000 in 1 week and thanked the 97 people who had already purchased her preserved personal smells. Stephanie talked about her gas-generating diet, which consists of beans, protein muffins, yogurt, hard-boiled eggs, and protein shakes. Maddow says she usually sets aside 2 or 3 days each week for this bizarre side hustle. Apparently, coming up with all that air isn't easy, and it doesn't come without its risks. Stephanie almost ended up in the emergency room after eating way too many fiber bars. Maddow revealed that while most of her customers are fans or just people who like to collect odd things, she's had trouble with stalkers. She said one person managed to find her address, and because of that incident, she keeps bear spray in her home along with an attack dog. She even looked into getting a gun license. Eventually, Maddow announced her retirement from selling bottled flatulence, remarking that it was causing too much stress on her body. Always resourceful, Stephanie quickly thought up another way to make money by selling her flatulence as NFTs. Number 1. Gypsy Sisters. Gypsy Sisters was a reality TV show on TLC that followed the lives of a group of gypsy women. It was a spin-off to another TLC series called My Big Fat American Gypsy Wedding. The show centered around sisters Millie, Nettie, Dovie, and Joan. In 2017, Millie, who was known as the black sheep of the family, was arrested for fraud after scamming Toys R Us and Babies R Us. In 2017, Millie went to a Toys R Us and used fake coupons on her phone. She had the cashier scan 7 coupons in total, and each one was worth $300. Millie then used the phony credit to buy merchandise and gift cards worth over $2,400. Once she left the store, she offloaded the gift cards before the store could cancel them. Police and the store's loss prevention team were able to look at the video surveillance and identify her. In all, she was arrested for using fake coupons to buy $18,000 worth of merchandise at Toys R Us. This wasn't the first time Millie got in trouble for using fake coupons. In 2014, she was arrested with her sister for running a coupon scam at a Target store. Millie was able to avoid serious jail time by making a deal in court. She pled guilty to theft by deception and criminal possession of a forged instrument. Lucky for her, the judge went easy and only gave her 5 years of probation. The terms of her probation said that Millie couldn't own a gun, would have to stay clean from drugs and alcohol, and would have to pay back the $18,000 she stole using the scam coupons. She also had to get her GED as a condition of the deal. Millie had to take regular drug and alcohol tests and meet with her probation officer, and if she violated any part of her deal, she could be looking at 6 years in prison.
Click to watch one of these next videos. Let us know in the comment section what you would rather have happen. An influencer trying to prank you in real life or a scammer trying to scam you over the phone.